All right, good morning. We want to talk today about surveying the market with your channel partners. For the first 4 parts of this series, we've really focused on step number 1 of the Westwind Group's We're the Target Markets program. We focused on key data, we focused on your international strategy, finding key factors to increase your product selling, landed cost, and we talked last week kind of about regional aspects for your company. Today we're going to talk about surveying your market partners. The number one thing that we do at Westwind Group is we give every company our best ideas and our best consultations about what a possible channel partner looks like in a market. Is it a rep? Is it an agent, a distributor, a wholesaler, a retailer, etc.? What works in the U.S. sometimes does not work internationally. For instance, we have a company that we're working with right now in Costa Rica that is working to gain access to the market, and they really wanted to go with a distributor model because that's what they're comfortable with, that's what they know in the US. We've actually focused on, in that market for their specific product, focused on an agent because they are looking for B2B sales. We're not looking B2B2B, business to business to business. We're actually looking for B2B sales, and that's the easiest way to do it, and that's the most efficient way to do it in that market. So markets change and market structures change. So we want to go over some of our basics for what a market partner actually looks like. We are going to pull up a presentation we did, and we're going to talk a little bit about the 6 things that we have on our list for market partners in a certain market. The number one thing is we talk about with a channel partner is the piggyback method. This is the easiest method to exporting. Basically, you are giving your product over to somebody else who's got a comparable product and exporting along with them. A great example is I make seat cushions. They make chairs. They're selling chairs to Mexico. We want to get on that business, so we give them our product, we piggyback, we go with them to the market. So we're selling not only the chairs, but also the cushions as well. Very typical for a lot of companies, and a lot of American manufacturers don't know that they're actually piggyback exporters. They are actually exporting with other people as they export around the world, which is very easy to do. This requires very little work from you other than maybe a certificate of origin every once in a while for your product, but other than that, you are stepping away from the process completely. The next step is, and this is kind of where Westwind Group fits in with our programs and consultations with companies that are looking for channel partners overseas. We are between the piggyback exporter and the export management company. We kind of sit over here in left field, kind of helping companies arrange this. But an ETC and EMC. An ETC is an export trading company. An EMC is an export management company. An ETC has specific knowledge of a certain market. They're going to buy your product from you, and they're going to sell it into the market. Think of them as a domestic international exporter for you. Basically, they're going to take a 15% commission. They're going to sell it into the market. These people, and what we try to tell everybody is an ETC, if an ETC comes up to your company and says, I have this product I want to sell into this market, we ask, well, ETC, where do you sell to? Oh, I sell around the world and I sell lots of products. You want an ETC that is very focused on 2 things. One, on the market area that you're going to, but also the product category. So if somebody comes to you that is selling industrial equipment and they want to sell your food product overseas, this is the number one thing is be very specific, suspicious of that, because really you want somebody that is focused, hyper-focused on your market segment, consumer product, goods, etc. And EMC is going to be the same type of thing, but a little bit more internationally focused, a little bit less regionally focused. An export management company is basically going to find everything for you, and they're going to take a commission off the top of every sale. They're going to find you a market partner. An EMC is the closest thing to what we're doing. We're export consultants at Westwind Group. We are actually going to find you these people in the markets that you can go to. We really focus on agents all the way down to integrators, but we can help a company do this. The next is an agent and a rep, and we're getting more and more detailed in the export process as we go down. Agents are basically going to find the markets and say, I want my commission, here's where you need to ship to. Here's the product, here's the money, I've gathered the money, or sometimes they even gather the money for you, and then they'll send you the money for the product, and then you ship to a certain address. They really don't care as long as they just get their commission for the sale. Agents and reps are very good at what they do in some markets, and in fact in Costa Rica we're using an agent and rep for a company we're working with now. But you really want to focus on agent or rep agreements that are very focused on your industry. You don't want to just give this to anybody. Again, same thing as we talked about with an ETC, where you want somebody that is hyper-focused on the market. An agent or a rep needs to be very focused on your market. You don't want somebody in consumer goods that is selling agricultural equipment. It just doesn't work. They might have the connections they think for their brother or cousin or anything like that, but we don't really recommend this. We recommend somebody who's got a focus on that product category. So now as you're getting more and more detailed in the export process, you are taking over the process here and actually exporting as a company. You move down to your next one, which is your distributor. These will be people buying large amounts from you, pallets size products or larger, and then distributing them to their smaller stores around the market. This is where you get into some of the relationship building aspects, the real relationship building aspects of knowing everything about your local distributor in the market and about the local market in general. Your distributor is going to be your best bet if you really want somebody that has a regional approach or a countrywide approach that has multiple stores and multiple locations. Again, we always say either if we are visiting the client for you or you're visiting the client, see what kind of distribution they have. Visit their warehouses, talk to them about their warehouses, talk to some of their references and talk to some of the people that they work with, see how good they are actually in the market. These are becoming more and more detailed because you're sending larger and larger quantities of product at a time. An agent or rep might send a couple cases here and there for testing and then go farther on, but a distributor is really where you're going to be sending lots and lots of products to. Again, what we talked about in part 4 of this, and if you missed part 4, I would go back and watch part 4, is you're starting to getting into a regional focus. So you want to have a fulfillment center that's going to cover the region for you in larger quantities. Distributor, that'd be a great relationship to get into, is having maybe a container or two in a certain market and then getting it to your distributor really fast. And then he covers the rest of the market and you can continue to send containers to your fulfillment center and go on from there. A dealer, think of this as one level down from a distributor, but a dealer is going to own multiple stores or 1 or 2 stores and be buying product from you. This is where you're starting to get into making sure that they're selling your product over a competitor. In the US, a great example of that is in the wireless cell phone industry. You see lots of stores that sell Metro PCS or Boost or AT&T that are independent distributors or dealers, indirect dealer associations. This is what a dealer is, and it's going to be more and more detailed as you go. You're going to have a much closer relationship with these people because you're really going to want them to sell your product over somebody else's product if it's in the consumer industry or even in the bigger space like Caterpillar or John Deere. That's where you're going to see a lot more sort of competition at the dealer level. Distributors can distribute multiple products and they just hold multiple products for companies. Dealers, where you're really going to start getting into the nitty-gritty of the local market and really selling direct, almost direct to consumer or direct to other business, but really getting into the fact of it. Integrators, the same way. Integrator is a 2 to 3 year process. And when we tell everybody if your product has integration capabilities or needs to be integrated, think of the process as 2 to 3 years from now to get your first sale. An integrator is going to have to build your product into specific categories for bigger projects. Think airport construction, think power plant construction, think wastewater treatment plant construction. An integrator is the most detailed aspect because you're going to need to get to know these people for about 2 to 3 years before you're even going to see a sale. So if your company is in the integrator space, know that you really want to know all the integrators, but you really are going to have some time to build in because these are government projects or large-scale projects that would take more and more time. So with that, that is kind of what we talk about with the different levels of exporting. Again, Piggyback is the easiest form of exporting all the way down to an integrator. That is the most detailed form of exporting. And we talk about more of this on our website. This is the Westwind Group website. I would go to our blog and look up some of the blog articles we've written about exporting. I would definitely go back and watch part 4 of the series on regional partners and starting to get into that cost. But this is the Target Markets program from us. It's a 3-step process for a company to get into. And again, if you haven't signed up for the Target Markets update, I would suggest that you sign up for this. We collect some pretty detailed information about local markets that can help you. We list some of what our companies have done. We don't actually list our companies because that's private information for them. They want to know where they're going, but there's a lot of different companies in there. And again, if you have any questions about some international markets, just send us an email. or just respond to this and put something in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you about the markets. But again, this is what we're striving for, is to reach 73% of the world's middle class, up-and-coming middle class that is outside of the U.S., and we want to do this through the Target Markets program. So if you have any questions, please let us know. And again, make sure you sign up for the Target Markets email update.